G'day guys, we're back again with our
Stop saying guys. Women watch this too.
Everyone.
hello everybody out there that's watching this. Welcome to Ride for Hope Australia. We're having our interview. We've got Jake. Jake, introduce yourself.
Jake Radnage, own Macksville Motorcycles, been going for about 11 years here. Motorcycle mad, obviously, and yeah, that's me.
That's you. So, the stupid questions we go, do you ride?
Yes, I do. Nearly
No,
every
he just
day
works
of
on
the
him.
week.
He just works on them.
Nearly every day of the week.
So what do you ride?
I ride a 2008 Harley Davidson Street Bob, which is semi-custom. Got 120R motor in it and paint job and all the good stuff.
Cool. So we'll throw just there. We'll throw some video footage of it after. But
I'll swing to it now.
swing to it now.
Don't worry about Memphis getting in.
No, it's fine. Shelby. All right. So how long have you been riding for, mate?
Since I was 5, Dad bought me a Pee-wee 50 when I turned 5, and then been motorcycle mad ever since. And sort of just went from there, jumped up CCs, and then during high school I still rode dirt, and then made the transition across when I started in the industry to road, which was always sort of my thing. I'm not much of a dirt guy. I tend to fall off and hurt myself.
So riding history's in your family, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. My grandfather bought, and like back in the day, you had to import your own bikes. So in the late 50s and early 60s, he was importing his own bikes. Had Indian, Triumphs, Harleys, all that type of stuff. He ended up having a pretty big accident when he was younger and hurt himself, so he gave the bikes away.
Yep.
But obviously it's in the blood, because as soon as Dad was old enough, he was out riding motorbikes, and he's 65 this year, and I think he's probably been riding since he was 10 or 11 or something.
And still riding today.
And still riding today, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So cool. So we know how you got into it. So what's your dream motorcycle?
If I could afford it, it'd be like a 60, 61 panhead duo glide. I don't know why, but Pan's always been my ultimate goal, and I love panhead motors. They just sound unbelievable.
You've got that potato.
Yeah, and it's sort of like, if you look through the histories, it's sort of when it really took off in the States and other places in the world, where you could jump on your bike and be comfortable. You had front and rear suspension, and you know, these guys are riding these old girls across the US and back, and that's sort of, in my opinion, where Harley really started to take off. Before that, being rigid arse ends and sprung seats, people didn't tend to ride them as far. Like the die-hard guys obviously did. You know, you can't stop them guys. They get off and wouldn't care about their back and all the rest of it, because they were just doing their thing. But yeah, for me, if I could, I'd definitely have a panhead sitting there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe one day.
One day.
Build myself something.
Do you only have the one bike?
I do now, yeah. I used to have that, and I had a 75 shovel custom that I built, which I ended up selling on. And then this thing, I was umming and ahhing whether I'd turn it into a drag bike and buy something else for the road, or because it's, you guys have been out with me on it. It's very loud, very grumpy. So.
Yeah, it's a good boy. All right, so you've been riding for ages and everything like that. So what got you into mechanicking then?
To be honest, man, I was always that type of kid that had a fascination with
Pulling
mechanics
stuff apart.
and trying to understand how they work, pulling stuff apart. Probably my earliest memory of pulling a motor apart would have been, I was probably 10 or something, and Dad had to do an engine swap in one of his work utes, so the old motor was on the ground, and I used to pull it apart and put it back together just for something to do, and sort of just went from there. And because Dad always had his head under the bonnet when he was younger, doing stuff himself, and my grandfather was very mechanically minded, and then when it come time to leaving school, the old man didn't want me going into his trade. Obviously, concreting and building's a pretty hard trade on your body, and he's got a lot of injuries from it, so it was sort of not doing that. Pick something that you can make a living out of but be happy doing.
That's not going to kill you.
Yeah, like, you know, mechanic has its bad points. Your wrists end up flopping out and stuff like that, but as far as physically working hard like he used to, I'm not doing that my body's healthy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't go home complaining about a sore back and all the rest of it like he used to.
Plus the fact you've got lifts and everything these days
well,
too.
we're pretty much fully equipped here. You know, we've got the 3 hoists, all the tools, the dyno for when we do performance work, and yeah, I just keep it simple. That's the business model always has been, keep it simple, and you know, make a dollar but try and look after the customer as well. And yeah, we've been here 11 and a bit years now, so
you must be doing something right.
yeah, well, you just take it as it comes. Take the good with the bad, and
Well, that's what you can do in business, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. And you know, like, started out with an empty shed, and when I'm full on, there'll be 20 bikes sitting around.
Yeah.
And then when I'm not, I just take advantage of the fact that I'm a bit quiet and got stuff
Right.
to do at home. Go for a ride, go fishing, spend time with my son when I've got him, and yeah, we just try and keep it simple.
So you are a Harley technician, that's correct?
I am a fully qualified motorcycle technician.
Yep.
But obviously, growing up with the old man and whatnot, I'm Harley mad, always have been.
Yeah.
I can tell you now, growing up, our house was wall-to-wall photos of Harley. Like, there was no colour of the wall. It was Harley photo,
It's a Harley
next Harley photo, everything from knuckleheads through to the modern stuff at the time. And then, yeah, I just progressed from there, started in the industry, did my apprenticeship, and then first Harley I bought was actually a Sportster, and it sort of fell in my lap at work.
Yep.
A guy come to trade it in, didn't like it, so I decided I'll buy it, and then I had that for a few years, and in between we ended up moving from Sydney up to here. Me and Dad had a good discussion about starting the shop, so he's my silent business partner. He owns the property and the shed, and then I own the business rights and all the rest of it, and we just cruise along.
So it's a family affair.
Very much. Mum's running the office.
As you can see, she walks behind.
Dad gives me a hand on the tools when I need it, or you know, you don't mind doing the odd job yourself. You can be quite crafty, the old fella, and if you can convince him, if you're nice to him, he might detail your bike. He's pretty awesome to detail.
And he's actually got a very nice bike. He's just had it painted, and we'll show you some footage of that after. So yeah. All right then. So what makes you tick? What makes you get out of bed in the morning?
Good question, Rob. Mostly my bladder.
Someone else has had that too. So yeah.
Look, I'm at the point now where I can cruise along and sort of pick and choose different jobs. But my main goal is to, at the end of the day, when I'm all said and done, that I can turn around and go to my son or grandchildren, whatever, like, here you go.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, that's the fruits of
So
my
you're trying
labour.
to leave legacy.
Yeah, well, you know, there's legacy to be left to me, and then I want to pass that on, and hopefully we keep it in the family for the next however many generations. Like, Dad's bike is left to my son in his will, so I'll be the custodian of it until he turns 18, gets his license or whatever.
Yeah.
And
If anything happens before that time.
yeah, of course, yeah. Like, I don't.
Dad's chugging along okay though.
No, he's doing fine. But yeah, so like everything we've got, we'll stay in the family.
Yeah.
Bikes, boat, cars, whatever, houses, it'll all just get passed down.
So this is a stupid question because you have answered it. But what's your favourite thing to do?
Depends on the day, really.
Yeah.
Like if I've had a bit of a quiet week and I'm not on everyone else's bike all the time, I don't mind getting out, you know, with the old man or
Going for a ride.
a bit of a group and just, you know, a couple 100 Ks a day, go shoot to a pub we haven't been to, check out the town, have a feed and just relax. Otherwise, I am fishing mad.
Yep.
I'm planning on going out on Saturday actually, so
Good on you.
we like getting out to sea when we can, and so I'm either mucking around with bikes, fishing, or I'm playing with cars. So it's always something with a motor.
Come and help me play with my car if you want to.
Well, if you want to sell it to me, maybe the 1 tonner.
15.
That's not a bad price.
It goes.
You'll
Just
get it
needs a
for it.
little. Yeah, I know. I've just got to get all the superfluous crap that's on it off it.
Maybe when I finish this hot rod build that I'm in on at the moment, all my money seems to go towards toys.
Oh, well, you never grow up, I suppose.
No, that's what they say. The difference between men and boys is the price tag of their toys.
That's right, yeah. All right. So who inspires you?
As far as
Anything. Anything. You know what? Like if you've got a couple of.
motorcycle industry, growing up, I sort of got into the bike build-off stuff. So watching guys like Billy Lane and all those type of fellas building, and it was sort of the art behind it to me that captured me as a kid, and then the old man taking us to different bike shows and all the rest of it. And so to me, like, my passion is building bikes as much as I make a living out of fixing them, servicing them, and all the rest of it. Taking a frame and turning it into a piece of artwork. Like I've done one shovel, and it was lucky enough to get featured in Heavy Duty magazine a couple of years ago.
Yeah, right.
So to me, that's my passion. If I could just build my own stuff, my own designs in my head every day of the week, that'd be great. But obviously, it's not going to fly as far as making a living.
So when you do that sort of stuff, is there a requirement of engineering if you change things structurally and stuff of that nature as well?
Yes, of course. It depends sort of how far you go, like whether you start with a Harley Davidson that's already on the road and then you just want to customise it. There's a lot of loopholes you can work through.
Yep.
But as far as going and picking a frame out of a catalogue and starting from there, you have to abide by the engineering guidelines, and then in order to have it like registered, if you want to ride it on the road, it'll have to go.
Especially here in New South Wales, they're quite strict here in New South Wales. Aren't
we are one of the more stricter states, but it has a lot to do with what was happening sort of 15 plus years ago in the industry, where a lot of bikes were getting written off, and then people were buying them and fixing them and putting them back on the road, but they weren't done correctly.
Okay.
And then people were getting stuck with bikes that weren't worth the value, or they weren't informed that it was actually in an accident. So New South Wales decided that there's no more repairable write-offs in New South Wales. So if it's not a repair, it's a write-off and you'll never put it back on the road. They basically rip the VIN tags off it, send it to the wreckers for parts.
And that's just so that you know that something's structurally sound when it's on the road.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't, like, the thing is, you buy something that's had someone's run up the back of a car. You change the front end, but you might not realise that the gooseneck of the frame's tweaked, and you won't realise it if you haven't put it on a frame aligner and checked it, or you're not going to realise it till you go for your first ride, and it wants to go around a left hand going real nice, and it wants to fight you on the right.
Yeah.
So. Look, it saved a lot of hassle, but at the same time, for a guy like me that could pick up something to smash, repair it, put it back out there right, and make money, it's sort of one of those things. Like Victoria and Queensland still do it, but there is a process. You have to have it inspected. It goes through the whole rigmarole, and then it's put on the system that it is a repaired bike, and you legally have to inform the next person when you sell it.
Yep.
Not that it makes much of a difference, you know what I mean? Like. Especially when I was in dealerships, we'd probably pump out 15, 20 smash repairs a month in the big dealerships.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
All right, cool. Now, you've been, since we've started doing stuff way back in 2018, because we had a couple of years off with COVID and things like that, you guys have supported me or supported us in what we've done with a couple of roller dice
they were
rides.
fun. Yeah. The dice runs were fun.
And doing, this is our third show and shine now. So why do you go, I want to support you? You know, what gives you that thing to support us?
Look, mate, I like to be part of the motorcycle community, and to be honest, around here we don't have a constant, there's a bike show on every few weeks or a car show or whatever. So when it comes to our local area, I like to support the area.
Yep.
I would like to see, like we've been discussing in before, about maybe in the future doing a 2-day event.
Yeah.
And having it where people can come from
all over
out of area, camp, and we can have a really good
it's
sort of rally.
It's still a plan.
It's still there. It's still in the plan. Don't worry about it. And as we've discussed with Shane, let's do the little shows
and build it up,
and make the mistakes early, small, and then we can build it up. Yeah, we do have a plan for doing that. Yeah.
So I like supporting the area. I nearly every year since I've been open, I've had the school approach me about doing the week with kids work experience. So I've had well over half a dozen kids come in and for the week, and they get a bit of an experience of what it's like to be in a mechanic shop. Obviously here we're smaller, so everything's done like between, it'll go from me to mum will order parts come in, I do the job. So you sort of get to see the whole aspect of the industry where you're not just trapped in a workshop on the spinners all the time. So it's like you get to see how the shop actually functions, the processes put in place from you rock up with your bike, with your complaint, the job card gets filled out, goes from there. Obviously the contact between us and the customer once we find the problem. I've always been where I won't just go ahead and do something, even if it needs doing. I'll ring you first and say, hey man, look, this could cost you an extra $400 or $500. Do you want to do it now? You might get away with it for a little while. I give the customer the option. Where I've been working in other dealerships and I've seen it where the shop will just go ahead and do the repair, and you're expecting a $400 or $500 bill. You rock up to get your bike and it's $1,200.
Yeah.
So your instant thing is, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why didn't you ring me? Why didn't you give me the option?
I didn't authorise that.
Yeah. So here, even if it's the smallest thing, you'll get a phone call. Hey, this is where we're at. This is what you need. Do you want to go ahead? I give you the option, and then it basically comes back down to you to how well you want to keep your bike. That's all I can do. I can only give you advice.
Yeah.
And like I tell everyone, prevention is better than cure. The better you maintain your motorcycle, the less money it's going to cost you in the long run. And obviously, the flip side of that is if you don't, stuff's going to break, it's going to wear out, and it's going to cost you twice as much.
Yeah,
fair enough. So, getting back to the mechanic, you don't only do Harleys, I've seen
we do everything. Yeah,
a couple of different runs. There's a quad out there, so you.
Yep, we do
that's why he said he's a qualified motorcycle mechanic.
Yeah.
Period.
But like passion-wise, I'm a Harley guy through and through.
Yeah.
You come out to my house, there's old. From 29 through to about 83, I've got photos of different models all through the house. And then, I'm still the guy that jumps online and looks at other people's builds and, sort of keeps up to date with the advancement in the industry.
We interviewed Dino from the barbershop, and he wants to get into the V-Star, like the black one I had.
Yeah.
And then I said, what's your favourite bike? And he said, a Harley. And I said to him, so you want to be part of the cool kids? So we're part of the cool kids brigade because we ride Harleys.
And anyone that rides something different doesn't mean you're not cool.
Look, the thing about motorcycling as a whole, it is about enjoyment. It is about getting out with like-minded people, travelling around, seeing places you haven't been, experiencing new people, new things, and it's all about having fun. It doesn't matter what you ride. If you got your knees in the breeze and you got a smile on your face, at the end of the day, who cares?
That's exactly right. That's what I say.
Like me and the old man, we ride Harleys, but if you come on a group ride with us, there'll be guys on Yamahas, Triumphs. It doesn't matter to us. At the end of the day, if you're on two wheels and you're having fun, we're all about it.
That's exactly right. Oh well, that's good. All right. Now I've got a heap of quick fire questions. So they're just a one cat or dog person.
Dog. Yeah, I got three of them.
What, beach or bush?
That's a hard one because I love fishing, but also like being out in the bush.
You can both.
Both. Ford or Holden?
Holden, definitely.
Yes.
GM.
Hotels or camping?
Camping.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
What flavour milkshake do you like?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
I'm chocolate mad.
Chocolate man. If I could grant you one wish, what would it be?
$2 million.
That's a common answer.
And then watch me go.
If you could have a superpower, what would yours be?
I'll probably fly it. I can get places real quick. Don't have to worry about lines in airports.
We have a lot of men that say invisibility.
Nah. That seems like it'd get you in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
If you could go back in time and tell your teenage self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Save money instead of trying to have everything at once while you're young.
Funny, that's a piece of advice a lot of people are giving to themselves.
That's right.
Admittedly, when I was younger, I used to spend everything I earn.
I think all young people do
Yeah,
that until
it's-
they understand.
It's kind of the thing, like, looking back now, I could have got to, like, the point of buying a house and all that a lot quicker than what I did, because I was
Especially these days.
admittedly wasting money financing motorbikes and cars and boats and all the stuff, and in the end it sort of come back and bit me in the arse.
But back in that day, would you have listened?
No.
There you go.
No, I was very
Headstrong?
strong-willed, I'll put it. So even today though, if I get an idea and like I will think it through and all the rest of it, once I've made my mind up that I'm doing something,
That's it.
I will see it through. It doesn't matter if it takes a year or 10 years, I will see it through.
Cool. What's your entrance song?
Entrance song.
Jake's coming into the big arena. What is your song that they're going to play?
That's a tough one, Rob. I'd have to really think about that, There's too many genres in my head at the moment. Like,
So in other words, you're not a fan of any one type of music?
Well, I thought it would be something from Bach or Beethoven.
no. Look, I'd say that it depended on my mood. Like, back in the day when I was younger and playing footy and stuff, we always sort of got into heavy metal, Pantera, stuff like that to sort of G yourself up. But then at home, in a home setting, if you come to my house, you'd probably thought I was a 65-year-old man because I'm playing blues and stuff from the 70s and 80s. I am.
But you are musically inclined, aren't
I
you?
was about
You
to say
play
that.
guitar.
I used to play I wouldn't say professional, but I was getting to that stage when I was younger.
Yep.
If there wasn't a guitar in my hand for at least 3 or 4 hours a day, there was something wrong. But obviously, getting older, and I didn't see that I was going to be able to make a good living out of playing music.
Yep.
So these days, it's more of a hobby, fun thing for me. If you get me drunk enough, I will get up on stage and play.
Karaoke, here we come.
Yeah. Don't listen to the singing, but it sounds like a cat lying.
We all can sing, just some of us not in tune.
That's right.
All right, and the last one. Who are you wearing? Who is your stylist for
Who's
today?
your designer today?
Me.
Kmart.
Yeah.
Kmart.
Yeah. I spend most of my life in work clothes.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I hope that was all right for you. So, on behalf of Roxy and myself and the Ride for Hope Australia, we want to thank you for your sponsorship that you've done in previous years, and hopefully we can continue to have a.
Like I said, we've had the discussion before about building it up and having a really good local event where we do get people come from Sydney, Queensland and surrounds and want to come camp and spend some money in the town as well, which helps all the local businesses like Shane and the pubs and even the servos. Think of the extra fuel they're selling with all these people coming to town. So that's something that I'm looking forward to in the future and being a part of and stuff like that. Like, because I've got the dyno, so luckily for us, the dyno is very easy to transport and set up. I've done it before down at the Far Q Rally, and we can have a really good event and music, things that are motorcycle culture related as well. And
but family orientated and targeted as well.
Yeah, family. It's nothing more exciting to me when I get customers come in, they bring their kids, like 3, 4, 5-year-olds, and they're looking at the bikes.
Fascinated,
Oh wow! It's like, do you want to sit on it, buddy? Oh, you sure? And the parents are sure. Throw your leg over it. You're not going to hurt it, mate. Get some photos. Like, that's what it's all about. The next generation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And them being able to jump on someone's bike and have a look or give it a rev and stuff like that. So I love stuff like that. It gives me a real warm, fuzzy feeling seeing these kids light up like Christmas.
But it
trees.
exposes them to something that they may not necessarily be exposed to on an everyday sort of situation.
Oh, of course, yeah, exactly. And then, it's something that will stick in their heads. And whether they don't ride or get a chance to ride till they're older or they don't ride at all, they'll remember back as, I remember when I was a kid and I sat on that mad motorbike. Mum's got photos of it. Like, my young fella, I've got a photo of him on mine and Dad's bike every year. So I've got like, from when he was little to now.
To now he could reach the
see
ground.
quickly getting bigger and bigger, and soon it'll be, see you mate, I'm going.
Yeah.
Right. So where can we find you? We're looking for your mechanics. Where?
Well, you can find us on Facebook. I do post some of the stuff that we work on. Obviously, I don't get to post everything, and some stuff just isn't worth posting. I don't think everyone wants to know every time I'm doing a tyre or something. But
except for that shovel that you had, the white and
Yeah, that's Joel's shovel. Yeah, very
I
nice.
passed it on the. He was trailering at home, obviously. The other
Yeah,
day after you.
he's going through the processes of having it put on Club Rego because of its age.
Yep.
Again, Joel is a really good bloke. His old man has a shovel as well. It's semi-custom. I've done stuff on that, and they come on rides with us. But Joel had a Sportster, and he was sort of and an ahhing, and then he loves his old man shovel, so he made the decision that he was going to go buy that. And as you can see, it's a very well maintained.
It was a very nice bike,
considering
it's
it's
a very nice bike.
Looking at nearly 50 years old. And I enjoy working on the older stuff. To me, older machinery has character. Like they talk to you. They have a sound of their own, a vibration of their own, a feel of their own.
Yep.
And the old saying comes into mind, but like, to be a passionate motorcyclist, you keep the old bike going. You don't just go buy something new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
Is there anything like the cars of today, more plastic than they are metal?
Well, yes. To be honest, as much as I'm a Harley guy, I am not sold
On the new ones?
on the late model stuff yet. You can see a lot of Japanese engineering creeping in, monoshock, all this type of stuff. The way their oiling systems are.
Well, the Asia Pacific market,
Exactly.
all Harleys are made in Asia.
Yeah.
So for here in New Zealand, that's where so they actually are a Charlie.
Yeah, well, I remember when the street 500s and 750s were coming out, and admittedly Harley, like most of the world at that time, having some financial problems.
Yeah, for sure.
Like even now at the moment, KTM's going through the ringer. We don't know what's happening with KTM yet.
Yeah, right.
But they shrunk the range. They took to me the Dyna is probably the easiest bike to go out and throw around the corners. They're more nimble. For that type of rider like me, where I like to have fun through the corners. I might not be flogging along doing 200 k's an hour by any means, but I like attacking the corners. So a bike like that is more suited for that style of riding. Whereas if you jump on a bagger or a Softail, you're more distance riding. Don't get me wrong, you can still throw them around through the corners and have a good time.
Yeah.
But it's just, I suppose it comes back to personal preference. Admittedly, the late model stuff's been out, 2017 or something, the crossover. I haven't really seen all that many come through here. It's more the twin cams, Evo, shovel, and back. I've had a few pans in here, which made me very happy. You get to work on a couple of pans.
Okay, now here's a question for you. What do you think of the electric ones?
Look, I to me, it's sort of the decline of the industry for internal combustion motors.
Sacrilege! Come on, be true.
You are allowed to swear on this channel.
I don't like them.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of it. I know when Harley were testing the Livewire, which is their electric
Version
bike,
of it.
quite a few of them caught on fire on the people and stuff like that. And the thing is that you're not actually saving the environment.
No.
All the effort that goes into making these lithium batteries and all the rest of it, it's doing more harm.
That's right.
In my opinion, especially being a mechanic, the hydrogen technology seems the way to be pushing. Clean burn, it's water and air vapor.
That's right.
But you'll probably find in 20 years I'll be making bootleg alcohol so I can make petrol to run the bikes. If we go that far.
Well, anyway. All right, mate, thank you very much for taking the time out to do this.
No worries.
That's it.
Thank you. Thanks for supporting the shop. And
that's all right. Yeah, we've got to get the bikes up here soon anyway. So
we're due for service already. I only did them a few months ago, didn't I?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, no.
I used to do some serious Ks, but even up north, down south.
When did we do it? September last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No worries.
Right, thank you.
Besides, my white walls need cleaning again.
I'll show Rob how to do it. That's a husband job.
She rides it.
Yeah, you're supposed to maintain it for me.
I can do to her what I did to you if you want.
No, thanks.
I'll clean
Just do half of it.
Alright, well, give me a bit and I'll sort something out. Alright. Yeah, right. Yeah, all good. Alright, go.
And this is Terry's bike. A very nice bike.
Oh, yeah.